My dear students, in this class, let us learn some factual details about malnutrition. The question is define malnutrition and describe its different manifestations. Let me be very clear that in our house there is kitchen and this kitchen is our hospital and food is the medicine. Food should be taken like medicine because always food should be taken in installments. Some people they are gluttons, they are epicureans. That means they eat in over quantities. That means this results in excessive nutrition. And some people they take very less quantities. That means people suffer from either excess nutrition or very little undernutrition. Both extremes are bad. So you have to treat your kitchen like a hospital where the food should be taken to cater to your requirements. You should satisfy your needs, not greed. So need based supply of nutrients is required. Food should be taken like medicine. Otherwise, a condition may arise where you have to take medicine like food. And what you eat, you become that. All the nutrients after digestion, after being absorbed, after being assimilated, they become an integral part of your body and also they become an integral part of your thought pattern. So kitchen is a such wonderful resource where you have to supply the nutrients in balanced quantities. So any deviation from balanced diet may result in malnutrition. So malnutrition is nothing but taking too little food or eating too much of food because excess nutrients will supply greater calories which are not required by the body. More energy means more metabolic rate. More metabolic rate means lesser the longevity. If you take food in excess quantity, it will become a poison. Too much of anything is good for nothing. So let us see what are the factors that cause malnutrition. Purpose of nutrition is to provide energy, of course. Imbalance in nutrient supply result in malnutrition, and this malnutrition may be caused either due to overnutrition or undernutrition, erratic secretion of enzymes and hormones. For example, if you take one hormone by name ghrelin, it is a hunger hormone. If it is not secreted in proper quantities, what will happen? You don't have that appetite. And sometimes if the enzymatic secretion is impaired due to certain anomalies, due to certain diseases, in such case also what you have taken may not be digested properly. So in such cases, the hunger signal may not work out and the bowel movement may not be regular. In such cases, it may result in malnutrition. And bile secretion abnormality also leads to malnutrition because bile contains bile pigments and bile salts. Bile pigments do not have any role in digestion, of course, whereas the bile salts, namely sodium, potassium, glycocolate, and taurocolate, they are responsible for facilitating fat digestion. So, in the absence of bile secretion or in the event of erratic bile secretion, what will happen? There will be some sort of fat abnormalities. And weaning, this is another reason for malnutrition, especially in sub-Saharan countries and African countries where the mother doesn't breastfeed the progeny properly for a prescribed length of time. And unscientific cooking methods also result in loss of vitamins, loss of certain elements, thereby it may result in malnutrition. Of course, cooking is an art, cooking is a science. If you don't cook properly, what will happen? You will be digging your own grave. So, how to cook properly. How to cook properly means in the process of cooking, the nutrients should not be lost. They should be made more accessible by the process of cooking. Sometimes people may not cook it properly, may not heat the contents properly. As a result, what will happen? The cellulose cell wall of the vegetarian food will not be broken down properly. As a result, the energy that is stored in the form of cellulose will be lost, will not be available to the individual who is consuming that food. In such cases, because he is getting less energy, he may suffer from malnutrition. And sometimes vitamin deficiency also results in malnutrition. We will, of course, try to highlight which vitamin deficiency leads to which disorder in subsequent slides. And there are certain symptoms of malnutrition. Any malnutrition, if it is related to less intake, that means if it is related to undernutrition, it results in weight loss. Weight loss is the major symptom of malnutrition, weight loss. This is the reason why you have to check your weight periodically. So, weight loss is the first symptom. Hair loss, this is another symptom because hair requires much nutrients. So, if you don't supply nutrients, elements to the hair, automatically they don't grow properly, they don't exhibit proper growth. Early senescence, that means people with malnutrition will age out very easily, very early. That means premature aging. This early senescence is nothing but premature aging. Circulation disorder, of course, this is more related to overnutrition, where you take much fat content, much cholesterol, which gets accumulated in your blood vessels, leading to the narrowing down of blood vessels. It may result in atherosclerosis. So, circulation disorders are more related to one type of malnutrition by name overeating, especially taking greater quantities of fat and cholesterol. PUFA. PUFA means polyunsaturated fatty acids. PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acid. Polyunsaturated fatty acids are good for health. Greater the unsaturation, greater is the utility, greater is their positive effect. But if the PUFA content is less, it may result in the blocks in the arteries, veins, and coronary circulation, leading to the sudden massive heart attacks. Vitamin deficiency, of course, this is very crucial because although vitamin do not supply energy directly, they are responsible indirectly for energy release. For example, if you take vitamin A deficiency, it causes nyctalopia, xerophthalmia, like that, keratomalacia, like that. Like that, there are various disorders associated with B complex vitamin. For example, if we take vitamin B12 deficiency, it results in pernicious anemia. And niacin deficiency result in pellagra. And iodine is also required. There are certain minerals which are very crucial. Unless they are supplied in given quantities, in required quantities, they may result in malnutrition. Iodine deficiency may lead to the swelling of thyroid gland, which is the characteristic and a diagnostic feature of simple goiter. And iron, it is also very crucial for the maturation of RBC, of course, because hemoglobin contains this iron as a core metal. Iron deficiency may result in anemia. So, these are certain characteristic features and manifestations and names of certain malnutrition disorders. And there are certain diseases which are very specific. For example, kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is caused due to the deficiency of proteins. We have already learnt in the previous lesson that proteins are nothing but the building blocks of the body. Normally, kwashiorkor results when the baby is weaned out at early age. That means weaning is the major cause of kwashiorkor, which is normally prevalent and rampant in Africa. Marasmus is another disorder, of course. And in some textbooks, it is given that it is caused due to carbohydrate deficiency. So it is again a malnutrition which is based on calories. And obesity. Nowadays, of course, because we are not working properly, that means we are not exercising properly, and our work is sedentary. As a result, obesity is caused. India has become the capital of obesity nowadays because we dump the food in unhealthy proportions. You have to take carbohydrates, proteins, fats in a particular priority order. You have to take proteins more, then you have to take carbohydrates in lesser quantity than proteins, and you have to take very little quantities of fat. If you reverse it, if you take oils and fats in greater quantities, it results in obesity and pot belly, and in certain cases thinning out, fatigue. Because if you are not supplying nutrients in proper quantity, what will happen? You feel that you are getting tired very easily. And anxiety neurosis is another symptom of malnutrition. Because if you don't supply properly the minerals, what will happen? For example, sodium and potassium you take. Sodium and potassium are required for maintenance of electrolyte balance. And you know pretty well that sodium and potassium are responsible for nerve impulse transmission by keeping sodium potassium pump active. If you don't supply these minerals properly, automatically you will be disturbing your psyche. You will be disturbing your nerve impulse transmission. You'll be creating deadlocks in nerve impulse transmission. It may result in anxiety neurosis. And as I already told, anemia is another nutritive disorder, of course, which is caused due to the less intake of iron. So, thus, minerals are also required, like iron, for checking out malnutrition. And you may be knowing zinc, of course, which is very crucial for the synthesis of insulin. And if you don't take proper quantities of zinc, automatically the insulin synthesis will be impaired. Then you may become diabetic. So, to combat stress, to combat diabetes, to combat heart attacks, balanced food is required. And any deviation from the balanced food will result in malnutrition. So, my dear students, these are the different manifestations and the types of malnutrition. So, try to remember kwashiorkor, marasmus, vitamin deficiency disorders, mineral deficiency disorders, and symptoms. And my dear students, count your memories, not calories, because good food is the essential part of the joy. Sugar and spice, everything is nice if they are taken in balanced quantities. Thank you very much. Meet you with another lesson tomorrow.